Welcome to the Downtown, brought to you by Arlington Citizen Media. I am Daryl Smith Jr., and across from me is...
Hi, I'm Rody John, and to my right is...
Amy.
In today's show, we sit down with Angel Carter and talk about the Fish Creek cleanup in Southeast Arlington on January 25th.
We also sit down with Cecillia and Gayla to talk about their wonderful doggy daycare, Pixee's Paws Pet Palace.
That place sounds awesome.
We also sat down with Ray Hernandez with Ink Masters Tattoo Expo and the duo behind the Our Town, Our Sound Arlington Music Showcase on January 23rd at the Arlington Music Hall.
Take ownership of your own healing and well-being through natural medicine at the first ever Consciousness and Psychedelics Conference on Saturday, January 25th at the Bob Duncan Center in Arlington, Texas. Featuring interactive sessions, inspiring speakers, vendor booths, and genuine connections.
Tickets are available now on Eventbrite, and each ticket includes a conference swag bag and a seat at the DMT Audio-Visual Experience. Please note that no tickets will be sold at the door. Search Consciousness and Psychedelics Conference on Facebook or Eventbrite for more information.
We are here with Angel from the Fish Creek Cleanup Challenge. How are you today?
I am awesome. How are you doing today, Daryl?
I'm doing great. So I guess first and foremost, what is the Fish Creek Cleanup Challenge, and how often is it done?
Well, this is our second annual Fish Creek Cleanup Challenge, and as of present, it looks like it will need to be an annual event, because even if we get enough volunteers out to clean all of the creek, there will still be more to wash down throughout the year. So it's an annual event at this point. We're looking at making it the fourth Saturday in January regularly. And I've been in talks with some of the different departments within the city of Arlington, and we're actually looking at expanding it further. So last year we just did Fish Creek on the Arlington side, which is approximately 4 miles of trail that borders that creek. This year we've expanded it into Grand Prairie, so we've almost doubled it. So we're doing Grand Prairie and Arlington for the Fish Creek Cleanup Challenge this year, almost 8 miles. And then next year we're hoping to schedule it, and I'm in the works with the city so that we can do Johnson Creek and Lynn Creek. So our makeup day for Fish Creek is the first Saturday in February, and I'd like to keep that schedule, and then the second Saturday and third Saturday do Lynn Creek and Johnson Creek, and then the fourth Saturday of February would be a makeup day in case anything is inclement weather or anything happens where we don't complete it. Last year we got rained out halfway through the first annual Fish Creek Cleanup Challenge. We had 2 of the big dumpsters that were provided by the Waste Management for the city of Arlington. We not only filled those, we overflowed those.
Wow.
So I contacted them, talked with Aaron yesterday, and he said, tell me how many you need and where you need us to put them. So we're looking forward to filling even more this year.
That's awesome. Because we actually, I would say, like, a little bit before the cleanup last year, we actually walked that trail.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
And I was especially like, there is so much trash here. Like,
There is.
so I was super excited to see that was happening. I meant to come out last year, but I think my kid was sick, and you can't take a kid sick in the rain.
Well, it was bad weather. That
It
kept
was, that's
quite a
true,
few
yeah.
people away. It was right at freezing. It was like 33, 34 that morning, and we had a damp, kind of drizzly morning, but we went in anyway. We had, over 3 days, a total of approximately 350 happy hearts and glad hands that came out, in part thanks to the Boys and Girls Club of Arlington over on Matlock, because they did their cleanup on Friday since they're not open on Saturday. And once we counted their numbers, the people who joined in along the trail, the people at Cravens Park, the people at Fish Creek Neighborhood Park, and there's another small entrance behind Walgreens on the corner of New York and Green Oaks. We had the Web Masonic Club there, and they had almost 50 people show up through there and with their club and to clean the creek and the trail and the wooded area. And I have to say, the city of Grand Prairie and the city of Arlington do an excellent job of usually keeping the trail area clean where most people are. They're on the paved part, walking, jogging, with their dog, with their families, or maybe bicycling. It's once you get off of the trail out into the woods that you really see the pockets of where the litter is gathered. And because it has done so for so many years, there's places where I walk And I can't see the plastic bottles, but I can hear them crunch because of the layers that have piled up over the years.
What has the response been between the city of Arlington and Grand Prairie?
It's been awesome. The city of Grand Prairie actually took over their whole side of the trail. Like,
oh, wow.
I'm just adding them as part of the, hey, they're doing it. They're doing theirs from 9 a.m. to noon, and then at noon they're throwing a party.
Oh, okay.
So what their logistics are, I asked for an address, and they said, join us anywhere along the trail. And I'm like, that's awesome. For the Arlington side, I did set up points for us to meet because we have some large groups coming out. We have the Travis Manion Foundation, and I'm a volunteer with them, but it's an Operation Legacy project. And on the Grand Prairie side, we're honoring Sergeant Gregory L. Hunter, who lost his life in the line of duty over in the Walmart next to 20. Yes. And he's got that memorial out there. Now, they lost someone else this year, and next year we can do it in memory of that officer. But this year, because we had already submitted, we kept it as it was. And then on the Arlington side, we're honoring Officer Jillian Michelle Smith, who also lost her life in the line of duty on a domestic violence call. Then we have the Mission Continues. They have a Dallas platoon, a Fort Worth platoon, and an Arlington platoon. And all three of the platoons are coming together at Fish Creek Neighborhood Park as part of their Martin Luther King Day of Service project. Then we have, like I said, the Webb Masonic Lodge. We have Rotarians coming out. I know we have the Downtown Arlington Rotarian Club. We have the Arlington Highlands Rotarian Club. We have Mad Radio and John Salerno, who have been tremendously supportive throughout all of the cleanup processes. He even came out and went through the woods with me to the creek where a lot of the trash is. Because we have big groups that are coming out, it's easier rather than just say, oh, anywhere along the trail, to have a place where we can give the safety briefs and we can make sure they get the bags and the gloves and the limited number of tools available.
Right.
Yes.
So how did you end up spearheading this project?
I blame it on my OCD, but God put it on my heart, honestly. I was walking, and there was trash that I kept trying to pick up. And there's an app for Arlington called Ask Arlington. And on that app, I can go on my phone, pinpoint my location, and say, there's trash here. And at some point, someone from the city reached out to me and said, this is a societal problem, and we don't have the resources to pick up all of the trash that you are reporting. And I know there's other people besides me reporting litter. Right. So, and I also realized that the litter issue goes beyond Fish Creek.
Oh, yeah.
But for me, the Arlington side of Fish Creek seemed like an attainable goal. And when I would go out and walk in the mornings, and thank you for the hot flashes, they are my alarm clock. But I go out and I walk the trail in the morning. I'm usually by myself when I go out there. I see the occasional coyote. The minute they see me, they run. I have yet to see a bobcat. Well, I found a deceased bobcat, but not a live bobcat. So it's a live ecosystem out there. It's beautiful. And when I go out there early in the morning, just before sunrise, it's my quiet time alone. But when the sun rises, all I could see was the garbage, and I, in a sense, felt like I was suffocating. So I could imagine when I look down in the creek and I see the turtle trying to dodge the can that's floating nearby, or I see the squirrel playing in the tree, and I'm not sure if he's playing with the plastic bag or fighting it.
Right.
And I look up at the bird's nest, and birds are now using plastic that they find as part of their making material. Then when I go home and I'm online, I see somewhere like 4 Ocean and articles that are saying, hey, by 2030, we're going to have as much weight in plastic in our oceans as we do fish. And I'm like, wow. And it started out 2050. Then as we get more and more, it's come up to 2030.
Which is not that far away.
It is not. And when they actually, they're finding dead whales on beaches and opening it up full of plastic. And they don't know if that's what killed it or if it got beached. But we're finding this in our wildlife now. And if it's in our wildlife and we're fishing and eating the fish that have the plastic, then it's in us. So it's up to, we created this problem.
Right.
And I by myself was not making a dent. And I realized I just need a few thousand of my closest neighbors, Marines, friends, and church members and other people that will come out into a creek. But the amazing part about it is there's something for everyone out there, because there is the concern of, I have a child I want to bring to the cleanup, but we don't want to get in the creek. Mm-hmm. But it is Cravens Park, Fish Creek Neighborhood Park. We've got it in the parks. We've got it in the school over there at Bryant Elementary. I look at they've got a new fence that
and
they
all
completed.
Of it just gets
it's
up against the fence.
Up against the fence.
Like a tumbleweed against the fence,
yes.
Except it's a plastic bag.
And out in the wooded area, it gathers in low spots and around trees. So there's plenty for everyone. So if you're adventurous and you want to get in the creek, get some rain boots, get some waders, by all means. In 1 quarter-mile section of the creek this last week, I counted 10 grocery carts.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
So when Kroger raises the prices on groceries, think to yourself, how much do those carts cost? Those carts run upwards of $100 each. And they've gone to great lengths to put anti-theft measures on there. Yeah. But people will walk to the grocery store, then walk home with the cart, and rather than use that same cart for the next visit,
just dump it.
They go over to the trail or to the creek or to the nearest bridge or overpass and throw it off. And then eventually, when we get the rains, and it doesn't have to be flooding rains, because that's what the creek is there for. Mm-hmm. The water goes down the drains, it comes off of our highways, out of our neighborhoods and the shopping centers, and into that creek. Mm-hmm. So when I see a flyer or a bag left in a shopping cart, I view it differently now, because it used to be, it's in a cart, no big deal. Now I have the compulsion to have to go over there and throw it away, because if the wind comes up, where's it going to go?
Right, exactly.
In the creek. And where does that go? Well, for
Eventually
Fish Creek, it goes into Black Creek Lake, which then goes to the West Fork of the Trinity River, on into the Gulf of Mexico, and eventually our world's oceans. Yes. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're trying to stop. But it's many-fold. Like, I can be out there and find tires and car bumpers and various things like that, because when we have accidents on the road, I understand it's the tow company that's responsible for cleaning up the mess that's left behind by the accident. And that doesn't always happen. Mm-hmm. There's a bumper up there near Green Oaks in New York now, and I'm like, they didn't get it.
Now, do you feel that this is going to, are you going to expand outside of the Fish Creek, or are you just limiting it to the Fish Creek at this point?
This year we're just doing Fish Creek. Okay. We are slowly expanding. So last year we just did the Arlington side. This year we're doing Arlington and Grand Prairie. Mm-hmm. And I've been in talks with the city, and we're hopeful that next year we can add Johnson and or Lynn Creek. I would like to see the cleanup challenge to grow beyond Arlington and Texas, though. Right. Much like Trash Tag and other things. Yes. But I would like it to be educational and something that we carry forward and continue to challenge ourselves from day to day. And that's what the challenge part is about. It's not just about going out and challenging ourselves to clean up Fish Creek. It's challenge ourselves to make better decisions each day. Mm-hmm. And within the past year, I've tried to go, I'd say plastic free, but it's plastic less.
Yeah.
So I now have reusable shopping bags. Right. I even have my own mesh produce bags.
Yeah, we got some of those.
Right? I got my shopping bags, and I'm like, wait a minute, I still have to use the plastic to get the produce. But then there's some things that when I buy it in the produce section, it's wrapped in plastic. And we've become dependent on single-use plastics.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in some places, I don't have an option. Mm-hmm. Like, for example, my automobile. It's a safety hazard for me not to have a cup or a vessel for drinking that will fit my cup holders. Mm-hmm. And so far, all of the reusable ones I've found are either too small or don't fit my cup holder.
Right.
So many times I find myself having to use a plastic bottle. And I just refill and reuse that plastic bottle in my quest to reduce my plastic until I can find a way to replace that.
Makes sense.
So, yes, it's about the cleanup challenge part. Right now the passion is in Fish Creek because that's what started it. Right. But the need is great out there. We need this for all of our creeks. We need it for all of our roadsides. Mm-hmm. We have a representative, council representative, Marvin Sutton, who has a monthly cleanup.
Mm-hmm. I've seen it on Facebook.
Yes.
It's really awesome.
And out of he does one every month, and I've made all but like 2 months, I think. Mm-hmm. Because the need is that great out there, and we can go out there and fill